Hi, happy Portal Day. How have you been? I hope you've been doing wonderful. Today is Portal Day. It's the Lionsgate portal, and we are gonna do something a bit different. The universe did have me bring my deck organizer, but I don't believe that this is gonna be one of those videos. It's hard for me because I know for a fact that this video is about me. So I'm just gonna start talking about it, but essentially, the Lionsgate portal, August 8th, is like a very big deal for me personally because it was when I started this journey to begin with, and everything spiritual that has happened in my life, the videos, it's all started this time last year exactly. And so I have a couple of things that I'm doing in this video, and I'll say, first of all, chapstick break. We'll see if we can get through this with minimal tears, and before my baby kitty gets too restless, because we were playing and I think he still wants to play. So a couple things that we're going to do in this video. One is I'm going to read you guys not this book, really. I see. So I am reading one excerpt from a journal and one letter that I wrote literally last year around this time, and I kept with me. And during Lionsgate portal last year, I wrote my letter to myself, dated this year, talking about all of the things that I am projecting to do this year. And I wrote this at a time in my life where I was just barely entertaining the thought of what my life might look like if I choose to live, as opposed to what I had been planning to do for the last 10 years over and over again, which was not to be here. And so we're going to read this letter, we're going to read this particular entry, and this is me being accountable. So here we go. I again have not, I saw 111 and then 30 and then 333 on the timer, and so I have not opened this since I wrote it to myself August of last year. It says letter to Bex, open August 2025. So here we go. It's a little thank you card. It was just one of those like letters that I had like laying around. Oh, I might cry, bro. I saw the last sentence. Damn. Bex, the last year has been such a fun roller coaster. My book is published and already getting the traction I never imagined, and the attention of those I have to pinch myself every time their name comes up. Aw. Yoga is going really well, and I'm learning a lot of Ayurvedic methods that are helping my spouses with lots of ailments. My students are really benefiting from this method of unbridled restoration yoga, and talks of our first retreat are looking like the topic of next year's letter. I have traveled to so many luxurious places and have been able to take and enjoy them with many loved ones. I feel joy, freedom, and love every day. I am constantly hopeful and grateful. Wedding planning is so fun and stressful, and I'm so happy to see everyone pull together and help bring our dreams to life. Bex, we did it. We are rich today, and wealth is on the way. Interesting. I'm moved to mention that I have not published a single thing. I'm actually in my 3rd rewrite. So I have not met that goal. Yoga either. Have not done yoga. I actually dropped out of my yoga teacher training course, and part of it was money, but a lot of it was because I started kind of just doing some more like research on it, and I felt moved to stop doing yoga. Not as in stop learning it for myself and for my body, that's not it. It's just, I am not moved to be a yoga instructor. That being said, I have learned a lot of interesting Ayurvedic-ish methods with food, and that has been part of my healing journey with my stomach issues. And so I have been, it has been for my spouses, all 3 of them. Various ailments that come to me, I find a way to make a food for it. And it usually helps. I have traveled, and it felt luxurious to me. For my anniversary with Ben, we were able to do a really cute cabin in the woods in Pigeon Forge for our 3rd wedding anniversary. And for my triad, we are all like Tauruses, like end of April to end of May, and so we went to a couple of really cool places in Santa Fe, and that felt really luxurious this year. And I got to visit my family a couple of times as well, and I have felt luxurious the entire time. I've gotten to go to spa resorts and historic centers, museums, aquariums, nice hotels, like I said, cabins. So I have been traveling a lot, and I do feel joy, freedom, and love every day. I am constantly hopeful and grateful. I have been planning all kinds of beautiful events for me and my family as we expand and kind of figure ourselves out. And I do feel rich today, and I do feel like wealth is on the way. The journal entry that I have here, and I'm going to do another one. So I'm going to do another one. I read this and I was like, oh, if I only knew what I was going to go through. And honestly, if the divine had shown me what I would be going through this past year before I wrote this letter, I would feel so damn discouraged. But like, I nearly died due to some serious health issues, and I moved away. Like, I ran away. I started school. I did so many things, and I connected with myself in ways that I could never have imagined. And so, without further ado, this time last year on August 8th, I wrote down something in this journal, and this journal is very specific. I'll read this because I think I've read this once before, but I edited the video. But it says, what is the purpose of this journal? And it is to turn my character into a weapon against limitations. What is the difference between bad words and unbalanced words or energies? Bad energies are to be eliminated, and unbalanced energies are to be remedied and recalibrated. We use words to describe energies, and certain words have become associated as bad energies when they are in fact just unbalanced energies. So that's what this is about. And on 8/8, because I lost the page, I wrote about attentiveness. And per Google, attentiveness is described as the act of paying attention and listening carefully. What does attentiveness for myself look like? I wrote here depression. I can see every outcome that leads to a complete annihilation of my choices and chances at happiness, and I nurture those pathways because they both align with my past experiences on the outside and answer the unanswered question of intent when pain is inflicted on me. Yet when it comes to noticing the way these thought patterns affect me, I struggle. Depression is the prison and infection. It is both a place and a feeling. Depression is my hell. It is where I go to no longer be here. Being attentive to myself is not selfish. Like an illness, I must pay attention to the symptoms and use my powers to treat it. Like a prison, I must be careful to not accept the environment and pay attention to the methods I choose to remove myself. I do not have to drown in emotions to be an empathetic person. So possibility is depression is the path to unaliveness. It's easier to fall into this trap because it's a path paved with the false sense of security that I have control of everything. Being attentive with myself means investing in getting to know myself intimately, knowing the signs of an oncoming path switch, and carefully implementing my safety plan and regulation plan in order to get back on track. So the divine told me, I had a Lionsgate portal kind of like ambiance video going, and I was instructed to switch it to nature sounds, running water on a creek. And normally I do like a combination of scents, but this particular incense that I have is a combination scent already, sage and cedar. It comes together, and I was to crack all of my windows. It is hot. And I say all that because like I usually bake in your energy, but I am getting the sense that we are needing to cleanse energy and just really move it on out of here. Usually I air the place out after and not during a reading. Again, like there are ways to do things, and there, may be a right or wrong way, but when the divine tells me to move a certain way, I don't really ask questions. And so normally I bake in your energy, and then as soon as the video is done, that's when I air the place out. I take, I get rid of everything, I cleanse. This time we are getting all of that out of here as we talk. And I am being moved to share with you that your expectations are yikes. You can have expectations of yourself. You are allowed to set goals. You are allowed to manifest. This is a beautiful time to manifest. But whoever I'm talking to, the act of paying attention and listening carefully to yourself to bring in attentiveness during this next phase of your life is so much more important than what you believe in your head has to happen in the time frame that you think it needs to happen in. This is a harsh reality. Damn, like that's crazy. Because again, like I have been through so much shit this last year. Like I cannot even really begin to explain to you, and even then, like I'm gonna go through more. And I killed the part of myself. I know that YouTube hates it when I use these big, intense words, but I got rid of the version of myself that has to have what I want and when I want it, how I want it exactly. When it comes to manifestation and projection. Because what I had in mind for myself, getting published in a year, being a yoga instructor, like those things, as I was more attentive with myself, became so back burner to what I'm doing right now. Like, I think that if I had tried to push and stay in that yoga teacher training course, I would not have slowed down enough to look at my life and say, actually, like, I chose yoga when I was in college because I was good at it. I had, I was a very active teenager moving into college. It was no big deal for me to keep moving my body. Before that, in middle school, I was a dancer. And so I did a lot. I did, dancing in middle school, gymnastics most of high school. So in college, I did, whatever physical education classes they offered while I did my psychology, aimed for my psychology degree. And like, guys, like, I did yoga, I was good at it, I was making good grades, and I gave up on myself. Completely gave up on myself. I did psychology because I took some kind of, placement, like crappy placement exam in my private high school, and they told me I should either be a pastor or a therapist. And like, my goodness, if I listened to every other voice, my goodness, listening to all of these other voices and being so distracted and inattentive of myself put me in a depressive state. Like, ignoring myself made me very, very unwilling to push and be here. 17 as I say that. And so, my love and my light. Oh my gosh, like I could go the hell off about the year that I've had. I started this journal end of July 30th, I believe. And by August 8th, I decided I'm going to be more attentive to myself. A month and a half ago, I started feeling changes in myself that seemed really scary, and it felt very similar to hell. It felt like I was facing it, and I was like, no, I'm doing everything right, but like, oh my gosh, if I hadn't taken the time to look at this and say, okay, I'm gonna keep holding myself accountable to this. Oh, it was 18, oh my gosh, and I just, it can be so fun and distracting to manifest all of your wildest dreams. And I encourage you to do it. I encourage you to write down every single one of your dreams. I also encourage you to write down every single one of the attributes of yourself. Because I'll tell you where this really came from. This is not a large book of written things. I think I have 2 more after this, and this is done. And I, at first, was like, damn, I bought this whole book, and I'm done with it, but being attentive to yourself is not selfish. And if you can take the time to manifest your wealth, to manifest your vacations, to manifest your soulmate, to manifest your tangible experiences, I encourage you to also take the time to manifest interconnectedness with yourself above everything else. Give that to the divine too and say, I want to be what I'm supposed to be. And be audacious about it. I wrote this letter and I wrote this journal, these journal entries, and I decided, like, I want all of it, the whole thing. Like, and at the time I remember I was bumping that song, 2020, I was bumping that song both, with Bia and 21 Savage. I don't remember what DJ it was though. It's not Skrillex. I'll post it down below. But I bumped that all summer last year. Don't you tell me that it's love or money, I want both. Ain't no way I'll let you take one from me, I want both. And I want both. I want all of it. And I believe in a level of abundance that supersedes anything that I could fathom or anything that I could look up or learn about myself. And yeah, I guess we're not doing a reading. I really did think that we were going to whip out some cards and be like, and then the ladies said, but no, like, I'm going to stand on business about this. Human being to human being, I challenge you to take everything material down here, find that spiritual equivalent, the part of you that wants to connect in a spiritual way to you and spirit, whatever that is for you. I challenge you to take that with you and walk through this portal this year. I challenge you to do it. And do it because you deserve it. Do it because your ancestors feel you deserve it, and do it because the divine knows you deserve it. I love you. 2222. I'll post all those numbers down there. I'll try to remember. It was 111, 333, 1717, 1818, 2020, and 2022. 2222. Okay. It's been really all. I'm gonna get hydrated, relax some more, be good to yourself, be good to your baby self, your teen self, your now self, your crone self, all versions of yourself. Honor the divinity within you, and don't be afraid. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!